So, as the rest of America, we all just got through watching the Super Bowl, and I am so disappointed in Cam Newton. Not because of his, oh, well, partly in due because of his play. He didn't play well, but he didn't respect his teammates enough to dive for that fumble, which was, I believe, the play of the game because you have no idea where that ball was going to bounce. It's not square shaped, so it's not predictable in where it's going to bounce, what it's going to do. But the one thing you do as a football player, and for those of you who don't know, I played college football, is it's an alpha male sport, 100% alpha male sport. And in college, we probably had 90 players on our team because of paid tuition and what have you. But in NFL, you have 51 players, I believe, or I think it's 51. Every 51 of those players have to be willing to sacrifice themselves for their team. And Cam Newton did not do that. I am so beside myself. I have held myself to great restraint, but I am so upset with Cam Newton. One reason, and the biggest example that I can give you on that team, number 58, Thomas Davis, has come back from 3 torn ACL injuries. He had a broken arm in an NFC championship game. And as soon as that game ended, he says nothing will keep him out of the Super Bowl. Well, Cam Newton, I dare you to look at Thomas Davis in the eye and tell him you gave him his all and you was his teammate. No NFL team is going to respect, no NFL player will respect you for that. You know, I can give you countless examples. John Elway helicoptering in the end zone in Pasadena. That memorable shot that will go down in Denver Broncos history. Against my Giants. I hate the Cowboys, but on Monday Night Football, Emmitt Smith rushed for close to over 200 yards with a dislocated shoulder. There are so many other examples. I had a teammate, Don J. Hardaway, who played who was on. We had neighboring lockers in college. Played an entire football game with a broken rib. You can't breathe with a broken rib. We all know about Michael Jordan's flu game. There's countless examples in sports that we can give. Andre Berto, who lost the fight but went 12 rounds with one arm. You know, there's so many damn examples. Arturo Gatti against Ward. There's so many goddamn examples. And all he had to do, he had pads on and a helmet. All he had to do was dive on that ball. I believe there's an above 50% chance that he would have got the football. But two, it gives his offensive linemen enough time because they're big guys to turn around and potentially grab the fumble. I am beside myself. Man, when I say I am beside myself, he was my favorite football player. I replaced J.J. Watts for this guy. I can't believe I replaced J.J. Watts for this guy when he won't give his all for his teammates, man. I am beside myself. I am so angry at this man. You know, and about 3 weeks ago, if you go down my video list, I said Cam Newton deserves the MVP over Tom Brady and Carson Palmer or whoever was MVP. It wasn't even close. I was infatuated with Cam Newton. But Cam Newton is never ever welcome in my locker room ever again, for whatever it's worth. You know, for ever the people that may listen, you may agree, disagree, you may call it black on black crime. It's not about black on black crime. It's about him being a great teammate. His teammate Thomas Davis has come back from 3 torn ACLs. 3 torn ACLs. And 2 weeks ago, he broke his arm making a tackle. And he says nothing is going to keep him out of this game. And he played an entire game with a fractured arm, with a fractured bone in his arm. So I don't want to hear. 2 weeks ago, you were diving in the end zone, opening up your chest, dabbing on folks. And when your teammates needed you most, you were down 6 points. Anything can happen. Not anything can happen, but there is a chance that you can get the first down. It's I believe it'll be third down. It'll be 3rd and 14. third and 15 if you recover that fumble, and you never ever know. Look at Eli Manning when he threw the ball to David Tyree, freaking miracle. Look at Eli Manning when he threw the ball to Mario Manningham on against the Patriots, and the second time they faced the Super Bowl. Man, it's just unbelievable, man. So many things. Look at Ray Lewis, who comes back from an elbow injury or a distal, comes back, supposed to be out for a year, and comes back on short. And look at Terrell Owens, when he played for the Philadelphia 76ers, comes back in 6 to 8 weeks from a torn ACL and has over 10 catches in the Super Bowl, I believe, when he played for the Philadelphia Eagles. Man, there's so many goddamn of people just being great, and that's just an example of how your toughest players don't get enough respect. You know what I mean? Like the Meta World Pieces of the world, the Charles Oakleys of the world when I was a kid, the Horace Grants of the world when I was a kid, the AC Greens of the world. They don't get enough credit. The Dennis Rodmans of the world, the Rick Mahorns, they don't get enough credit for the job that they do. And Cam Newton had one play all year where he had to be the toughest player on the field, and he didn't do it. He wants to be the highest paid player. He wants all the endorsements. He probably wants all the girls. I don't know if he's married or not. And you had one time in your life, or one time this season to be the toughest player on the field, and he let his teammates down. I don't care what his teammates say in public. I've been in the locker room, and I've played basketball college, ran track in college. He will never, ever get the respect of his teammates on the NFL level. I don't care what they say, what they do, and I can't wait for the comments to start coming out. It won't come out tonight, but I'm waiting on the Stephen A. Smith tomorrow. I'm definitely going to TiVo that show, but it's just, man, I can't believe I replaced Cam Newton with J.J. Watt. J.J. Watt was my favorite player, because not only was he your best player, he was your toughest player. And Cam Newton, I allowed myself to let Cam Newton replace J.J. Watt. I can't believe it. I seen J.J. Watt play a football game with a broken nose, or I'm not sure if his nose was broke, but he had a big gash on his nose. Oh, man. It's just, man, so many damn examples. I saw Sugar Ray Leonard against Thomas Hitman Hearns down on all scorecards. Knock out Thomas Hearns in the 15th round, man. I seen Evander Holyfield beat Mike Tyson twice. I've seen Buster Douglas, 43-1 underdog against Mike Tyson, knock him out in Japan. There's so many great examples where you don't have to be tough your whole life. You don't have to be the best athlete your whole life. You only have to beat the athlete. You only got to be when it's presented to you. When it's like there was one basketball player who says Michael Jordan is the best player to ever touch basketball. This was when I was a kid. Forgive me who they played in the finals, but I'm just going to paraphrase what he said. He says, only got to be better than Michael Jordan 4 out of 7 games. That's it. I don't have to be the greatest player in the world. Michael Jordan is the greatest player in the world, hands down, and everyone in the world knows that. But for 4 out of 7 games, I only got to be better than him. I've seen Jeff Hostetler, when Phil Simms went down, lead the Giants to a Super Bowl championship, man. There's so many great examples, man. I've seen Otis Anderson. I believe he was the NFL MVP, a 30-plus-year-old running back. There's so many great examples, man, of where you just, Cam Newton, I'm so disappointed in you. Not because you're black, but because you wasn't tough enough and you let your teammates down. I'm pretty sure there's an organic piece of me that allowed him to replace J.J. Watt because he was black, and there's an overwhelming sense of disappointment probably because he is black now. But I'm just so disappointed in him that he let his teammates down, man. Our team captain in college was Marvin Johnson, and he was the biggest, baddest wolf on the block when I was in college, man. And there's no way in hell I would be able to go in the locker room and tell Marvin Johnson that I didn't go on that fumble because I was afraid in the championship game. You know, we won the championship when I was in college, and I wasn't the best player on my football team, not by far. But my teammates knew I had their back, and vice versa. Man, it was man, it's like basketball was my first love in terms of team sports. But I always say if you've ever had a conversation with me, I always tell you there's nothing like being in a football locker room where football is the only sport that I've ever played where it's okay to be an alpha male. It's acceptable to curse your teammate out. It's acceptable to fight your teammate. It's not you can't do that in basketball. I mean, you know, publicly it may be frowned upon, but inside that locker room, I mean, you can call him a bitch. You can say fuck you. You can fight, and at the end of the day, it's over. I mean, and that's the one thing that I absolutely loved about football. And to see Cam Newton backpedal on a fumble that he fumbled, he wants to. Oh gosh, I can go on this video forever. But Cam Newton, you'll probably never ever get this. If someone, man, please tweet it to him. Do whatever you like. I am so disappointed in Cam Newton. When I say I'm so disappointed in Cam, I am beside myself disappointed in Cam Newton. And for all the Thomas Davises of the world, man, I you guys can hear it in my voice. And I've had teammates who've blown out Achilles heels, blown out ACLs, man. And I had a teammate. We won a championship in 1997, and we had a teammate who couldn't play because he got hit in practice with brain. Something had to do with his brain, so he was never ever medically cleared to play football, and he was one of our better players. But it's all the people that have given up months on their life to be a great teammate. Man, the Thomas Davises world gonna have art when they turn 45, 50 years old. You guys don't understand. He's gonna be arthritic. He won't be walking like he is at 25. I'm not sure how old the man is now, but man, I have the utmost respect for people like the Tom Davises of the world, man. Man, he's come back from 3 torn ACLs. He does not deserve a quarterback like Cam Newton. His approach to the game. I'm not going to get into his approach to the game because I absolutely adored that previous to him not going for that fumble, man. I'm so disappointed in you, Cam Newton. And Thomas Davis, I have the utmost respect for you for playing with a fractured bone in your arm and coming back from 3 torn ACLs. Luke Kuechly, who've had concussion issues. Roman Harper, who's probably in his 12th year, gave us all. Man, there's so many great examples of Carolina being Carolina tough. And that's it, man. Barbershop conversations. I'm so mad at Cam Newton. J.J. Watts, you are now officially, you will never ever be replaced. I appreciate your 17 and a half sacks. You will never ever be replaced. You will always be my number one favorite football player until you retire, probably. Like Mark Jackson was my favorite basketball player because I knew he gave 100%, and he was from New York like me, and he played point guard. But oh man, barbershop conversation. Appreciate you guys' support. Thomas Davis, I love you, and you will never ever get the true respect you deserve for playing with a broken bone in your arm and coming back from 3 torn ACLs. And Cam Newton, you will never ever get my respect again for letting your teammates down. And if I was your teammate, I wouldn't tell you tonight because it may allow other emotions and other things to flare. But 2 weeks from now, I will call you and I will tell you I will never ever have respect for you ever again because of what you did to me on Super Bowl Sunday. All you had to do was dive on the ball with pads on and a helmet, and you backpedaled. You backpedaled in fear. So I'm going to say thank you, Thomas Davis. J.J. Watts, you are officially number 1, my favorite football player. And Cam Newton, I don't care if you go to the Hall of Fame. I'm going to always remember you for not diving on the ball. And it's funny. It's funny. No matter what John Elway did, the drive, whatever, against the Cleveland Browns, whatever the case may be, I will always remember him helicoptering in the end zone in Pasadena. So barbershop conversations. Appreciate you guys' support. And RIP Cam Newton. Peace.